Opinions. It's something we all have, and each one is unique to their respective person. That's what keeps us human and not like a mindless, soulless machine. But sometimes people will want to copy what others say just so that they can be more like the cool kids. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, as a lot of people do share similar opinions to one another. But sadly, nowadays, it's becoming more and more common to just copy what people say on the internet without diving into it themselves. This has led to some characters getting the full frontal assault in terms of hate, when they otherwise don't deserve it. So, while I don't want to change anyone's opinion to create my own cult, I do want to talk in defense of 4 characters that people really hate, but are actually well written. With that said, let's get started with... Out of all the characters in this video, Immortal is definitely the most popular, but I still want to talk about him. A lot of people say he's selfish for being so untrustworthy of Mark, while ignoring the fact that his dad killed him and his teammates after years of trust built up. I think it's fair to say he has the right to dislike him, but that's not the main thing. The main one is because he says he's given this world enough after he's lost every fight beforehand in the show. To which I say, that's the point. He's been around for 10,000 years. For the longest time, he's never been beaten as he was the strongest hero. But now that he has died multiple times and seen the fights get bigger and stronger, he finally realizes that he never had the chance to start his own life. Everyone tells you you should always put others before yourself, and while that is true, you gotta make room in your life for your own well-being, as your life matters too. It's the same lesson Rex learned, but given that he can't come back like Immortal can, it came faster to him. That's why he was begging Mark to kill him in the alternate future. Not because he loved Kate that much, but because he was tired of never getting a life outside of superheroing, always doing something for everyone else and not his own. I used to be like that. I used to love animals and wanted to help them. But eventually, that love faded and it hurt my life more than it helped it. Eventually, I found a passion in filmmaking, and even though I'm not helping as many as I would being a conservationist, that doesn't mean it makes my job less special or mean less to me or any other person who enjoys my work. Also, least heroic, he was Abraham Lincoln. He freed the slaves. You don't get more heroic than freeing slaves. Athena! My favorite Monster High character is Laguna Blue. So, you think I'd hate Gil and say Laguna deserved a better boyfriend? Well, no. Gil never treats her badly. The only reason they break up is because his parents send him away, which afterwards he learns to grow a spine and sticks up for her every chance he gets. And this is consistent throughout the whole series. In Escape from Skull Shores, he's worried that her parents won't like him because of the feud between Freshies and Salties, which is understandable, because going off of his own parents, he has no reason to believe otherwise. I may not be in a relationship yet, but I did grow up with strict parents, and I'm consistently worried that they won't like what I'm into, or my girlfriend's parents, when I inevitably do get one, will hate me. Now, yes, Gil did invite Lorna to the dance, but that was to cheer her up as her boyfriend just dumped her. Do I think he should have told Laguna beforehand? Yes. But if Kieran Valentine can brainwash girls into loving him and steal their happiness away forever and be forgiven because he has a new boyfriend and thus he's the representation, why can't Gil get the same for his innocent mistake? You could at least chalk that up to him forgetting. Good God.
How long is this goddamn song? 6 minutes. 6 minutes? But it has a twist. It has a genuine twist. How do you sing a 6-minute song that is just, we're not going to start the game?
Look, I wanted to avoid talking about Wish as I felt like both sides of the argument were becoming extremely toxic. But might as well make it 3 characters. Or 4, I guess. Let's go back to this. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Asha isn't saying grant every wish, but instead she's mad because Magnifico doesn't have a valid reason as to why he doesn't give the wishes back to their original owner, as they are part of their soul and memory. You might be saying, oh, but they don't act that way. That is because they've gotten used to pretending that they are whole, which is why Simon is both the oldest and the one referencing the sleepy dwarf, because he just got his wish taken and is feeling the effects for the first time. I called Magnifico a family-friendly fairy tale homelander in my wish defense video. That is because they both share the same idea. After years of misery and torment, they finally got to a place of power and authority, which they enjoy more than anything else in the world. But they are blindsided by their trauma to the point that they never notice the flaw in their work and would rather flex their authority onto others, enjoying it all the more. If I had a nickel for every time I compared The Boys TV show to a family-friendly piece of girly media, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Asha isn't being adorkable. She's acting this way because she's nervous for her interview, which is why she doesn't act like this way throughout the entire movie, as it's something we can all relate to. And Magnifico opening the book is meant to be him going over the edge. He's meant to start off like any other creative executive who means well, but he gets more and more paranoid when something threatens his spot, to the point that he becomes the very thing he was trying to prevent. Come to think of it, I should have used the Onceler as a better example of what he is. My goal with this video wasn't to brainwash people into joining my own cult, but to show why I like these characters, and to get you to have another look at them. My name's the writer Azura, and I'm riding off into the sunset. Peace.